Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Once I was attending a training in Bangalore, and there were very eminent persons who were giving training. We had called them, and they were very respected, reputed. So before the training started, he gave us very nice understanding of importance of training and how constant learning can help us. Generally, when companies are going through some financial difficulties, so first thing they cut is the training budget. Because they want to cut expenses, so training, okay, it can happen later on. Sometime even in our lives, when we're too busy, Prabhupada books reading gets reduced. So he mentioned that once he and his partner, they had gone to Singapore to attend a training. All the way from India to Singapore to attend a training. Again, very eminent speaker, so they wanted to. So it was a 2-day training. And once the training started, this friend, the partner, constantly kept nudging him. ये तो हमें पता है. We know this. क्या नई बात है? Kept on pestering. He says, we know this. इसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? So this person made a statement. He said 99% of what he is saying we may know. Look for 1% which we may not know. And that 1% can make all the difference. This should be our mood when we learn something, read something, hear something. That's why when people also read Prabhupada's books, after some time they don't feel it is intellectually stimulating. Because वही birth, death, old age, part and parcel of Krishna, Krishna Supreme Personality of Godhead. Same facts are being mentioned again and again. No doubt in spiritual subject it is not just the fact, it's the depth of understanding. The same, I am not a body, I am spirit, soul. There is unlimited depth to that understanding, unlike material knowledge. Still, if we very submissively, in a humble state of mind, even materially and spiritually, we'll always find something newer and newer. If it is getting hackneyed or boring, that means our mood, our mindset the attitude which we are approaching is something is wrong there. So, when I was a child, this question was there in my mind always, for quite some time. After that, it got cleared. I was very young. That when you go to a platform, railway station, so all major trains going to different destinations generally leave from platform 1, the most prominent platform, just as you enter a railway station. Some train is going to Calcutta, some train is going to Bombay, some train is going to Chennai, from same platform, in the same direction. So this doubt was there in my mind, that how a train leaving from the same platform, going in the same direction, one is going to Delhi, one is going to Calcutta, one is going to Chennai. And when you are in a platform for a while, why this doubt came? Because when I was young, we used to travel from Assam to Delhi every vacation, and there was one major platform in which we had to change train and wait for about 5-6 hours. So invariably, as a child, I would hear announcement, next train is so and so, next train is so and so, next train is so and so, all platform number 1. So this doubt came, how come trains are going in different direction but leaving from the same platform and going in same direction? Then as I grew up, little bit understanding developed, and I got to know that the train leaving from the platform, after it exits the platform, especially if it's a big junction, big railway station, the tracks go in different directions. And which train will go in which direction, who is controlling? There is a person, a linesman. He just presses one lever. Just one lever. The train going at 60 kilometers per hour, instead of going straight, one lever it presses and it goes in this direction. Another track. And that track is going to Calcutta. The same train, if it continues straight, it goes to Delhi. So just one lever, one small button, one small lever he has to press. Big train with thousands of people moving at such phenomenal speed, tons and tons of weight of the bogies, they go in a different direction. The lever in our life is lavamatra Sādhu-saṅga sarvasiddhi. Our train is going in one direction, charged up materially with material goals, ambitions. It will land up in the destination also is a very different destination. And lavamatra Sādhu-saṅga sarvasiddhi. When we came in touch with Prabhupada, one line, something we heard brought about a paradigm shift. It was that lever, and our train started going in a different direction. We wouldn't have achieved perfection, we wouldn't have achieved the destination, a long way to go, but definitely our train is going in a different direction. The destination is different. Our destination is to purify, to go back to Godhead. The destination of a person who is going in earlier, what was our destination? To materially prosper, become big, name, fame, adoration, have lot of money, enjoy, have a private jet. So the destination is completely different. And this is exactly what is being mentioned in this verse, that Manu, when he associated, or when he came in touch with Kardama Muni, came in touch with Kardama Muni, Prabhupada in the purport is explaining the result of seeing a great saintly person. Love matra Sādhu-saṅga sarvashakti hoy. Another similar example, a plane takes off, let's say from Bombay airport. There is only one airstrip. Same direction plane takes off. All planes lift off from same direction. Different destinations. And if a plane takes off and makes 1 degree turn, and maintains that 1 degree turn, it will reach Calcutta. If just 1 degree turn, same plane, same fuel, same speed, same pilot, same passengers, just 1 degree turn it makes, and it maintains the turn, it will go in a very different destination. That is the power of association which we are talking about. And this change is so imperceptible. Sangat sanjayate kama. We don't realize that how association can have a very, very big impact on our thinking, feeling, willing, on our beliefs. So that's why we cannot live without association. Every moment we are associating with, if not some grossly, subtly with our mind. That's why Prabhupada many places says, not a moment a mind should be empty. Empty mind is a devil's workshop. Why it's a devil workshop? Because so many samskaras are there, so many vasanas are there, so many thoughts will crop up in our mind, and we are associating with them. Our attention goes there. Why it is said we should be very tightly engaged? Because you leave the mind, it will all kind of nasty thoughts. Where it will come from? All our chittam, subconscious mind, all what is stored, the crap, all what we have done in the past, all the vasanas, all the impressions, all will start surfacing up, and we associate with them. So the best thing is we be nicely engaged so that the mind is engaged, and choose our association very wisely. Prabhupada is so merciful, he has built-in wonderful association as part of our daily program. You see, we are hearing Bhagavatam, nice bhajans, we have reading. So association is built in our schedule. And then we also discuss with other Vaishnavas. So we should make the best use of this principle. We should know. Even 1% deviation, it can take us in a very different direction. And constantly we are associating, if not spiritually, materially. Constantly we are associating. We cannot live, just like Bhagavad Gita says, we cannot even for a moment live without working. We cannot even for a moment live without association. We are associating with someone. We are always associating with someone. Grossly and subtly. Subtly means if idle mind is there, we are associating with our own mind. So, associating with holy name, associating with Nama Prabhu. Madhu Prabhu in one place says that chanting we sometimes can do very mechanically, ritualistically. It's a process. We have to chant. But we can also chant with the spirit that I am associating with Nama Prabhu. It's a now opportunity for me to associate with Nama Prabhu, the all purifying, all powerful. He has descended, Nama Chintamani, He has descended on my tongue to give me association, so that I can touch Him, I can purify Him. So, association is very important, and some amount of discrimination also is required. One quote of Prabhupada in the 3rd canto: a devotee should avoid a person whose character is not fixed in the standard understanding, even though he may be a Vaishnava or a devotee of Krishna. Okay, it is easy for us to understand we should associate with devotees, we should associate with Vaishnavas. But even in Vaishnava association, some element of discrimination is required. The other day I was mentioning why this discrimination is required. Just like sometime a person gets infected, the person is not bad, but he is infected and it is contagious. Anyone, like we had good experience during COVID, anybody who had this thing, we used to isolate that person. And likewise, there are many chicken pox, many other diseases. Not that the person is bad, but so long as he is infected, we should not associate. Why? Because that infection will spread. So likewise, even as a devotee, here it is said, whose character is not fixed in standard understanding, even though he may be a Vaishnava or a devotee of Krishna. On gross terms, there could be somebody who is a Mayavadi. He may be Putam, Harikatham, Ritam, not here even Harikatha from a Vaishnava. Even though he may be dressed a devotee, he may be speaking from Bhagavatam. But even within our community, somebody could be infected. Again, we have to avoid two extremes. Not that every person we are judging, sometimes the symptoms are visible. Like in COVID also, not everyone we were testing, okay, he has COVID, so I'll not associate. No. Some person, the symptoms are evident. He is not keeping well, he has fever, his sickness. COVID symptoms are there, so we test it and we isolate. If his character is not correctly representative, then he should be avoided. One should steadily control the senses and the mind and strictly follow the rules and regulations, and he should make friendship with persons of the same standard. So in association also, first is asatsanga tyaga, Vaishnavas, Mayavadis, all that we keep away. Materialistic, Stri Sangi, who is attached to women, we keep away. And even among devotees, some discrimination. What is Prabhupada saying? Whose character is not fixed in the standard understanding, even though he may be a Vaishnava or a devotee of Krishna. Why we have to say it? Why we have to discriminate? Because all of us are from different backgrounds, different vasanas, different level of impurities. Madhu very nicely explains the fixed spirit soul. The soul is pure, but each one of us, based on our past, we have different personas, impure personas. Some may have very materialistic understanding, some may have wrong perceptions, some may have wrong beliefs. And when we associate, it gets transferred. Beliefs gets transferred. desires gets transferred. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Desires gets transferred. Beliefs gets transferred. Thinking, feeling, willing gets transferred. And remember, 1% change, different destination. 1% change. Somebody may say, okay, just आधा घंटा तो मैंने बात की है. आधा घंटा जो बात किया है, it can go in a different direction. If it can change the beliefs, it can change the paradigm. If one associates with bhaktas, then one's swabhava or nature will change. Our Krishna consciousness movement is meant to give people good associations so that this change may take place. And we actually see that by this method, people all over the world are gradually becoming devotees. So we, as devotees, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, we have two main duties. What is that? Janma sarthaka kari karo upakar. How do we janma sarthaka kari? We purify sadhana through association. We purify. And when we are purified, when we have the right character, then anybody who comes in touch with us, he'll get impacted. Karo upakar. If we have the right perspective, if we have right understanding, if we have the right character, if there is purity in the heart, then our preaching also will be effective. Anybody who comes in touch, there will be an impact. Śrīla Muni regrets that he had bad association even in the deepest part of the water. Now, this is very important thing. Association, I said, we cannot even live for a moment. Śrīla Muni, what he did? Śrīla Muni, just to avoid bad association of women, he went under the water. Śrīla Muni regrets that he had bad association even in the deepest part of the water. Because of bad association of the sexually engaged fish, he fell down. A secluded place is also not secure unless there is good association. Sometimes the mind comes, okay, let me go off, 4-5 days, I want to be all alone. Sometimes the mind, I want to just relax. We cannot have empty mind. So, bad association is there everywhere. Even in spiritual organization. This is in the deepest part of the water also bad association is there. So that's why we have to exercise caution. And also be spiritually strong so that we can discriminate. We can make the right choices. There is a very nice article which talks about the first choice we make, many times we are helpless because of our habitual responses, our personas. The first choice what we make is it's not fully in our control. But after that, to continue giving our attention, continue maintaining that association, that's in our hands. Largely in our hands. And that's why we have to constantly beg Lord for jnana, bala and kriya. Jnana is not enough. Kardama Muni knew association of women. He went underwater. Jnana he had. Vishwamitra Muni, he was married. He had that jnana. Bala. We require strength. Spiritual strength. And kriya. Kriya means what? Skills. That's why a devotee always feels, on my own I cannot. I may have all the jnana, I may be pandit, I may be big scholar, vidvam shapi karshati. Vidvam shapi karshati. Big pandits, big learned scholars, big yogis, big tapasvis, big renunciants. Who am I? Vishwamitra, 60,000 years of tapasya. Kardama Muni going underwater. Who am I? So that's why a devotee should always remain humble. Never be proud. Jnana. I may have jnana, I may have panditya. Will not help. Maya is strong. Dhuratya. Mama Maya Dhuratya. We require bala. Where does bala come from? It comes from the Lord. It comes from our spiritual practices, sadhana. It comes from holy name, jnana, bala, kriya. And then what is kriya, jnana, bala? You may even have strength, but a moment's inattention, walking like a razor's edge, just like as a 1% wrong turn, you may go in a different direction. 1% wrong turn. Kriya, the right skills. At the right time say no. One small mistake, dhyayato vishyan pumsa sangaste shubhja, the whole cycle has started. When the temptation comes first, if you say no to the temptation, if 1 kg effort is required, the same temptation, if you don't say no, the next time the temptation comes, it will be much bigger in size and the effort required to say no will be double, 2 kgs. Sometimes so-called innocent, little bit we see, little bit we dabble, little bit we contemplate. So long as nobody is watching, so long I am not getting caught, so long nobody is noticing. It is like that spiral. Little bit talking, how does it matter? It matters. What is required to resist an urge? Double the effort will be required once that contemplation has started. So it requires some skills. In that SMDA process, dhyanam, you're visualizing. A scenario like this happens, I'll do like this. Rehearsing mentally. Again, finally, all this devotee does not have even faith that because I have the skills, because I have the bala, because I have the jnana, he is dependent on the mercy of the Lord. He feels, I am like that sparrow who is emptying the ocean. I am doing small effort. Finally, it is the Lord who has to see my effort, and he has the principle, God helps those who help themselves. I am putting my effort, but faith is not in my efforts. Faith is not in my jnana. Faith is not because I am doing great sadhana. Faith is not because I am a great devotee. Faith is because by my effort, I am indicating to the Lord, Lord, I need your help. Sometimes we can even have arrogance that I am a great devotee. My sadhana is 100%. I have read Bhagavad Gita 8 times. Last 1 year I have not missed any Mangalarti. I know one devotee, I used to be very, very envious. He had the Damodar Arti Kartik month. His record was 17 years, 1 day also he has not missed. Sometimes you're traveling, you miss this thing. And invariably we end up missing sometimes. You're traveling, not busy with some important thing. Unfortunately, the devotee is not there in the moment now. No doubt, sadhana, our service, all that can help, but we should not be overconfident also. Why we should not be overconfident? Just like here, Strawberry Muni. He was meditating, he just opened his eyes. He didn't see man and woman, he saw fishes. And moments in attention, Prabhupada mentions, moments in attention. It's like a razor's edge. Lavamatra Sādhu-saṅga. Lavamatra, even we make a mistake. Lavamatra, moments mistake. Because there is so much of danger, because there is bad association, if today we are secure, if today we are continuing in spiritual life, we should express gratitude to the Lord. Lord, because you are so kind, because you are so compassionate, because you are so merciful, therefore I am here. It's not out of our spiritual strength. It's not because I have jnana bala kriya. It's because you are so compassionate, because you are so tolerant, because you are so forgiving, because you are so merciful, I am here. Transcendental devotional service cannot be complete and cannot be relishable without the association of devotees. We have therefore established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Anyone who is trying to be aloof from this Krishna conscious society and yet engage in Krishna consciousness is living in great hallucination, for this is not possible. So Prabhupada has nicely, he's built an institution. We all can stay together, we all can practice together, we all can benefit from each other's association. And Prabhupada says, anybody who is living away from the society is living in great hallucination. Even if we ask many devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness from outside, if you ask most of the devotees if they are sincerely practicing, mostly they will be able to complete their 16 rounds. And that also in this material world is a big challenge. With the kind of entanglement which is there outside, the kind of contamination which is there, the kind of modes influence which is there. Somebody who is practicing, if he is chanting 16 rounds, it's a big achievement. So, whereas here, we have opportunity for Aarti, Kirtans, Bhagavatam class, Prasadam. We all will end the class and Prasadam is ready. Great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the water of Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use. You see, in India, it's in one sense it is so nice, so during this Purushottama, so many people are conscious that, so many people doing parikramas, so many people, 84 kos parikrama, Purushottamas, going to the holy rivers, taking bath, doing Ekadashi Vrata. So, whatever it may be, whatever materialism, the people are still Kumbh Melas, lakhs and lakhs, crores of people. So that sense is there. Taking a holy dip, faith in Ganges, that concept that even though it may be materialistic thought, that paap dhul jayenge, but there will be somebody who is regularly taking bath in the Ganges. There could be somebody who is regularly taking some vrata. There will be somebody who is regularly doing parikrama. There will be, I'm sure, a lot of people who are doing every day parikramas of Vrindavan or something like that. But if you look into their lives, possible. Vrindavan is a wrong example because there are many devotees there. But I'm talking about taking bath in the holy rivers. But when one associates with a pure devotee, the transformation which happens in his consciousness is completely different. That's what he's saying. Whereas the water of Ganges can sanctify only after a prolonged use. Whereas lavamatra Sādhu-saṅga sarvasiddhi hoy. Wholesale purification can happen if we associate with a pure devotee. I'll end with this quote. Our relationship is eternal, but if somebody lags behind, in spite of our eternal relationship, one may not meet the other at the destination. Just like a flock of birds, although very intimately related, each one of them has to fly in the sky by individual strength. We may live in association of devotees. Finally, our spiritual growth, we have to work. Association may be available, but we have to work. We have to sincerely desire. We have to put chesta. Just like Madhavavan chanting says, Jnana chesta and Kriya chesta. That Krishna will not put. If one is less strong, the others cannot keep him in the sky. Just like that SMDA process, we have to work. We have to change our beliefs. Nobody can do that for you. This is the law of nature. Nobody can chant rounds for you. Nobody can attend Mangalarti for you. Nobody can remove your anarthas. You have to desire. So long as every one of us is strong in Krishna consciousness, there is no doubt you can fly in the spiritual sky and meet together without failure. Therefore, individual strength is most important, and that individual strength is achieved in association of devotees. So Prabhupada has given us a facility, has provided us an opportunity. Morning Mangalarti, sadhana, chanting, kirtans, class. And we also have a free will. So spiritual strength, mercy, we have to beg. Jnana, bala, kriya. Ultimately we are very small, very insignificant, very powerless, very tiny. And if mercy of a devotee is there, yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado yasya aprasadan nagati kutopi. If I don't have his mercy, if I don't have his blessing, there is no hope for me. So that way, if this consciousness is there, the devotee is grounded, he remains humble, big things may happen, but he knows ultimately what is the source, from whose knowledge is coming, from where strength is coming, from where jnana is coming. Here Prabhupada in the purport mentions that transcendental association I met Sri Śrīmad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and on first sight he requested this humble self to preach this message in the Western countries. There was no preparation for this, but somehow or other he desired it, and by his grace we are now engaged in executing his order, which has given us a transcendental occupation and has saved and liberated us from occupation of material activities. You see, Prabhupada has desired, let a temple like Vrindavan also come in Jaipur. Desire of a pure devotee is very powerful. Krishna is sold out to a pure devotee. Prabhupada has desired, and we are trying to fulfill that desire. It has given us a transcendental occupation. And that has saved and liberated us from occupation of material activities. I strongly believe this building, one mall opposite, 6 months it can be built. 150, 200 crores, small amount. Elon Musk, you all know, last 2-3 days it's in news. He's a trillionaire. There was some comparison being, what is $1 trillion? Some 12 million homes he can buy. Like that, if he were to distribute that $1 trillion, every man in this world will get $1,000. Every man in the world. Something like that, some comparison being made. So, what is this 100 crores, 200 crores for Krishna to fulfill the order of a pure devotee? It is a transcendental occupation for all of us. Why that transcendental occupation? That transcendental occupation will keep us away from material occupation. Because we have to work. If you don't work spiritually, you have to work materially. So therefore, it's an opportunity for us to serve Krishna, to serve Prabhupada, to fulfill his order. He will not benefit. Prabhupada will benefit because one temple was built for him. No. We will benefit because we engaged in serving a pure devotee. And thereby, we'll get purified, we'll get his mercy, and our life will be moved towards perfection. Lava matra, Sādhu-saṅga, sarv siddhi hoy. So that should be our consciousness. We'll stop here. Granth Raj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki.